Hey guys, what's up? It's your YouTuber Jaya. Welcome back to my channel. We talk about all things money, finance, and entrepreneurship. Guys, in today's video, we are going to be talking about inflation. Yes, inflation. Why did I feel the need to start talking about inflation, you might ask? Because everybody has been feeling the effects of inflation almost to the point where it comes up in daily conversations. Oh, I got a second job. Why? Oh, I'm just trying to put away money for savings to keep up with inflation. Literally, everybody is being impacted by inflation. I'm going to be completely honest with you all. Inflation is pretty much kicking my butt. I feel it in pretty much everything that I buy. Gas, of course, groceries, menu prices. When you go to a restaurant, you notice food is a little bit more expensive. Everything is just a little bit more expensive. And as somebody who was already on a budget to begin with, trying to save money, live better, this is just great. This is just a phenomenal thing. Oh, obviously, I'm being sarcastic. I started noticing inflation around November of 2021, kind of around January of 2022 is really when it started to kick up. Because if you all remember, I used to work at a grocery store, and at this grocery store, I used to be a cashier. And when you are a cashier, you ringing up groceries, a lot of the people and pretty much buy the same things, like the necessities. It's the same milk, it's the same eggs, it's the same chicken, same oil, things of that nature. So you kind of get an idea in your head of what prices naturally are for things. Like when you've been on the check stand for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you kind of get familiar with the price of food. I started noticing the price of food go up by a lot in late 2021, early 2022. For example, there used to be a toilet paper that people used to buy. The toilet paper is about $10.99 for 20 rolls. A really common thing people used to buy. That toilet paper is $14.49 now. It went up almost $3. Cooking oil on average cost about $2.79. Cooking oil now is $4.59, $4.79 or something like that. Chicken breasts. Chicken breast used to run $15 per pack. Chicken breast is now $30 for a pack of chicken breast. I wish I was lying. I wish I was exaggerating, but I seen it with my own two eyes. Chicken breast gone up to $31 for a pack of chicken. And this would be normal if this was taking place over the course of a couple of years. Over the course of 10 years, do you see things go up $3 in price, $2 in price? But no, this has been from November all the way up until March is really when I noticed the dramatic change in the prices of things. And that's scary. For something to go up $3 in price in less than 5 months is actually scary. So what exactly is inflation? Inflation is when the price of something gradually goes up over time. We have always had inflation. Inflation is a part of the economy, but our inflation rate was about 2% over the past couple of years. For the past 10 years, our inflation rate has been about 2% per year. Our inflation rate is at 9.1%. That is the highest that it's been since 1981. Now, if inflation is when things gradually go up over time, that comes when you pump more money into the economy. So when there's more money or more dollars circulating in the economy, the purchasing power of the dollar goes down. Also, more money being in the economy also has an effect on supply and demand, because if more people have money, that means more people can buy things. That means the demand for things go up. And when the demand for something goes up, the price of something goes up because you can charge more for it because there's a demand for it. Now, in 2020, we had a national emergency, if you can recall, which caused the government to artificially pump money into the economy, but at the same time told the production of things to stop. So you have a lot of money floating around in the economy, but the production of things so people can purchase things with that money is down. So less things are being produced, so the demand for things are very high. So in order for the supply of these items to meet the demand, the cost has to go up. Also, due to this national emergency that happened in 2020, there was a time where people did not know what was going to happen, so they felt the need to panic buy. And when people panic bought, it really shocked. And when I say shocked, I mean shock, like electricity, like how you shock something. It really shocked a lot of companies because they were not expecting for their product to be bought so quickly, and they have to produce products so quickly, which is why you had a lot of issues with stuff not being on the shelves and things of that nature. Gas has been a main issue when it comes to inflation because everybody needs gas to get to work. Delivery drivers need gas. You need gas. I need gas. Anybody who has a car needs to put gas in their car. And the cost of gas has gone up significantly. It's been fluctuating, if I'm gonna be honest. It'll be like going up and then it'll like go down and then it'll like go up again in like a week. So the cost of gas has really been fluctuating, but it's nowhere near as cheap as it used to be. Just a comparison, gas in September of 2019. And yes, I had to go back to 2019 because if I would have said gas in 2020, you'd be like, 2020 is COVID. That's why it was so cheap. It's because of COVID. And so I had to start in 2019. Gas in September of 2019 was $2.68. Gas in September of 2020 was $2.27. Gas in September of 2021, which is when inflation kind of started towards the end of 2021, was $3.27. Now, the average cost of gas is $3.76. So gas has gone up. But if you remember, in June, about a couple months ago, the national average for gas was $5.03 for a gallon of gas. It was $5 for a gallon of gas. So this is what I mean when I'm saying it'll like get really high and then it'll go down and then it'll get really high again and then it'll go down. Like the cost of gas is just fluctuating, but it's still way more expensive than $2.27 that we were paying literally less than 3 years ago. Now, what is causing gas to become so expensive? What is causing the price of gas to go up? If you ask somebody, the first thing that they'll probably tell you is the war in Russia and Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine are fighting each other. Therefore, gas is $5 a gallon because of Russia. Yeah. If you've been paying attention to the price of gas, you would know that the war on Russia and Ukraine started in like March or something. Gas has been going up since like November. So if the war in Russia and Ukraine was like completely to blame for the cost of gas going up, then the cost of gas would have started going up in October. So according to the gas reference sheet, you can see that in October of 2021, gas was $3.38. Then it went up to $3.49. Then it went up to $3.40. Then in January of 2022, it was $3.41. Then it was $3.61. And then in March of 2022, it went up to $4.32. So gas was on the steady increase, not decreasing, since October of 2021. So I'm not saying that the foreign issues that we're having with our country are not to blame for the cost of gas, but when I was doing research, that was like the main thing that was coming up, and I'm just like, no, that doesn't make sense. Because I've been paying attention, okay? But in a nutshell, there are multiple different reasons why the cost of gas is going up. Mainly it being an issue of supply and demand. During COVID, the cost of a barrel of oil, because gas comes from oil, was extremely cheap because nobody was going anywhere, so nobody was using gas. So the cost of gas was cheap. And also due to the 2020 national emergency, a lot of people got laid off. But then the national emergency was over, or people started like getting used to it, I guess. So people started going back outside, which means now we need oil. So now oil companies have to play catch up with the new demand for gas. Another reason why there are supply and demand issues with the amount of oil is because the United States does get a lot of its oil from other countries. And because of some foreign affairs that took place in March of 2022, it slowed down the production of oil that we would get from other countries. So now the United States isn't receiving as much oil as it used to. And also, the United States has stopped producing a lot of its own oil by closing down certain pipelines for more energy-friendly, climate-friendly policies. How does this directly affect you? Everybody, in one way or another, has directly felt the pinch of inflation. You went from reading about it online, inflation is coming, to directly feeling the inflation in the wallet. However, the main question that you should be asking yourself is, how are you going to survive inflation? How are we going to get through this financial inflation crisis, inflation being 9.1% because of diseases and war, all of this happening in my lifetime, literally all within the course of 5 years. How are we going to get through this in the most financially responsible, financially efficient way? I've seen a lot of people online saying, oh, the inflation is happening. This is the time to save money. You should be saving all the money that you can save right now. And it's just like, how am I supposed to save money when the cost of everything is going up? Like, that would have been good advice when everything was super cheap. Save as much money as possible. So then you would have, this is the rainy day that people are referring to when they say save your money for a rainy day. So how am I supposed to save money now if the cost of everything is so much more expensive? For starters, the first thing that I would do is evaluate my financial state. Am I in debt? Are you in any bad debt? Do you have good debt? Is it consumer debt? Is it student loan debt? Have you taken out any loans? What is my credit score? How much money do I have in my savings account? I would do a good financial reflection, see where we are, so we know what to build towards. Secondly, after you get out of debt, then I would set a certain amount of money to put away for savings. I have said to myself multiple times, I need to save money. I need to save money. But when I just say to myself, I need to save money, and I just put away $100 here, $50 here, another $100 here, but for no particular reason, I always end up getting in a rut. I end up falling off, and I end up needing that money for something, taking it out because it wasn't properly accounted for, and I just never end up making any progress. However, when I'm saving money for something that I actually need, like when I was saving money up for my car, or when I was saving money up to move out of my apartment, I saved money so quickly. I was so focused on my goals, and I was able to actually hit my savings goal without getting distracted. So I would pick a certain number to put away for a certain reason. So like, let's say you want to save money for an emergency fund, like you want to have money put away just in case you were to lose your job or anything like that. I'm saving up for an emergency fund, instead of just saying, oh, I'm putting money away, I'm putting money away. Actually have a certain idea. It actually makes you more motivated to want to put that money away. After you hit a savings goal, it is natural for you to want to start looking at investments. Investments in this economy, oh, I don't know. It is possible for you to make a good financial investment in this economy. It just takes a little bit of critical thinking and a little bit of risk taking. For example, the housing market is not really doing its best right now. It's being predicted that the housing market is going to go down and the value of people's homes are going to start to go down. A lot of people would say when housing is extremely cheap, when the economy is doing bad, that is the best time to buy houses, because the economy typically recovers, and then the price when you bought a house like super cheap, when the economy recovers, the cost of the house is going to go up, and you'll have earned more money on your investment and things of that nature. However, while houses might be really cheap, the average interest rate for a house right now is 6%. A 6% interest rate. Literally just 2 years ago, the average interest rate for a house was 2.89%. But we're not going to live in the past. We're moving forward in the future. 6% should you do it. You can always refinance your loan when the economy gets better for a cheaper interest rate after you've purchased a home. But it's always something to keep in mind that the interest rates right now are extremely high. And that's something to think about when you purchase a home right now. You can also try to invest into the stock market. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I know this is a financial literacy channel. However, nothing bores me more than talking about the stock market. That's why I haven't made any videos about the stock market, because it is something that as of right now, at this current moment, September, whatever today's date is, I could not care less about the stock market. However, I know that there are a lot of you out there who do. And my only advice would be, if you're going to invest in the stock market, which is an individual stock, I would be really knowledgeable about the market that you are investing into. So for example, Tesla stocks are very popular right now. and they've been getting people a lot of return on their investment. However, before I invest into a Tesla stock, I really want to be knowledgeable about the industry of electric cars to see where Tesla as a company is going to be going in the future, because you don't want to invest into an individual stock for a company that is not going to, the trajectory of the company isn't looking like it's going to do well, because then the stock is going to crash and you're not going to get the best return on your investment. Now, there are some stocks where they're really cheap right now because it's an up and coming company, and in the future it's going to be like a next big thing or something like that, which is fine. But that's where being really knowledgeable about a certain industry comes into practice, because if you see a small startup company or a small startup stock, and it isn't really popular right now, but because you're like really knowledgeable about the industry, it's going to be popular in the future, then that's fine. You've done your research. However, I wouldn't go and invest in a stock just because it's popular right now. Like, I'm not going to go invest into a Disney stock or a game stock just because everybody's talking about it right now, because stocks that run off of popularity, when nobody cares about it anymore, they tend to go down and people tend to lose their money. So it is possible to make a sound financial investment in this economy with this inflation. You just have to be willing to take a higher risk. Thank you so much for watching today's video. This is a topic that has been affecting everybody. Literally everybody I know in some way, shape, or form has been affected by inflation, whether it be their groceries, whether it be their gas, it doesn't matter. Everybody's been affected by inflation because we're all in this together. This is something that we've all experienced. So it just makes me feel that much closer to you guys. If you like today's video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. Please comment down below and tell me, what ways has inflation affected you? Has it been your gas? Has it been your groceries? Has it been restaurants? Has it been your clothing? Let me know, what way has inflation affected you? I am so curious. And most importantly, subscribe. We're talking about inflation, Roth IRAs, okay? All of the fun stuff is going on over here. So if I were you, I would subscribe. In the meantime, stay strong. Bye, guys.